So you can find all the links to this story and more. We'll probably have the link to the video, and there's a website that I found that has a very, very detailed rundown of the entire manhunt. A lot of details that I left out. I kind of gave you the glossy overview here. Let's see, maybe that disgusting picture of him dead, and maybe
it is disgusting.
Yeah, maybe kind of a cool little map that shows his little trek the route of his little trek that he took, and I don't know what else we're gonna put out there. Maybe a picture of a kitten.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're just putting out everything.
We are so many pictures this week.
So many.
Yeah.
Can I put a unicorn?
Yes.
Actually, how about a unikitten?
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, a unikitten.
That's better than the death photo.
How about a avocado soldier?
I haven't seen that. Well, you'll have to show that to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Yeah, I will.
All right, well, anyway, that's it. Like I said, another mystery solved, and, tune in next week when we solve another mystery. So, for Thinking Sideways podcast, I just want to say ta-ta.
Bye, everybody.
Thinking Sideways is not brought to you by cats that walk in your face to wake you up. No, instead, it is brought to you by CrimeCon 28 in Nashville, Tennessee. It's May 4th through the 6th, 2018. It's going to be all kinds of cool stuff. True crime authors, celebrities. Nancy Grace going to be there. Yeah, and of course, we're going to be there. I mean, yeah, Thinking Sideways will be there. We'll be handing out autographs for only I don't know what, $5? Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, and there's no dogs this year, but there's going to be all sorts of other cool stuff. And we're going to have a meetup too, so you're going to want to attend that. So get your tickets today. Use the promo code Sideways, and you will get a discount on your tickets if you haven't bought them already. Thinking Sideways is also brought to you by Stitcher Premium. That's right, we are on Stitcher Premium now, so if you want to sign up for that, so if you subscribe, then you get to hear all of our content several days early, and it's all ad-free. Plus, you get one bonus episode a month. So subscribe today. Go to Stitcher.com/ThinkingSideways. Use that promo code Sideways, and you will get 1 month free when you sign up for 12 months. Stitcher Premium. It's something. Thinking Sideways.
And welcome again to Thinking Sideways, where once again we have a mystery for you. This week we're gonna talk about a completely different kind of mystery.
But first, what is your name?
Well, I was going to tell people what we were talking about before I told them who I was, so that maintained the mystery. But if you want to destroy the mystery,
I really would like to know what
your
name is. Now, what is your name?
Who are you people? What's going on? Why am I in this room?
I actually figured if I talked long enough, one of you would spill my name so you could tell me who I was, because I don't remember anymore.
Okay, well, we are Thinking Sideways. That's Steve over there that I'm pointing to.
There's Devin.
Yeah, one of these two guys is Joe.
He, better known as Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, well, should we talk about stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about some stuff, because that was a beautiful, beautiful intro. I'm glad we scripted that out so well. Mm-hmm. This week we're going to be talking about the supposed curse surrounding players who were featured on the cover of the Madden NFL game.
Yeah.
Supposedly it ruins their careers or does bad things to their careers and seasons and their team seasons. And it's kind of a fun one.
It is.
We haven't done a sports mystery in a long time.
The Madden curse.
Yeah. It's also kind of a pop culture mystery too.
Yeah, kind of is.
Yeah.
But I do want to say right off the top here, I'm not a huge football fan. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but the point is there are fanatics out there who get a little upset sometimes when you drop a stat. I'm not a stat guy. Give us a little bit of leeway.
We're an Unsolved Mysteries podcast, not a football podcast.
That's right. You can only know so much.
Yep.
But, so we know what football is, though.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We do. We're talking about American football.
Yeah, not the girly football.
No, not the kind where they kick a ball around.
Yeah, we're talking about the real
not
stuff.
The good football.
Yeah.
We're talking about the dumb football.
Yeah.
Wow, you both have managed to alienate all of the fans. So that's
everybody's
great.
angry now.
All right, well, these two are going to leave. I'm just going to tell you about the story.
Okay.
It'll be great. But I do want to, before we get into the story, mention that this was a listener suggestion. This was suggested a couple of years ago by Peyton.
Manning?
I think so.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
I kind of think it might have been
All right,
Manning.
Peyton.
Yeah,
let us
thanks,
know
Peyton
it's
Manning.
you.
Appreciate
Peyton, I
it.
think, might have been a little pissed that he wasn't picked for the cover.
Well, you know what?
There's
It's
a
done.
curse.
It served him well. Maybe.
He'll be on our cover this week.
So let's kick things off and talk about the Madden curse. As I said, players are featured on the game's cover, and then they have poor performance, and this seems to have affected most, if not all, but quite a few of the players. And there's a bunch of details here that before we dive into the curse, we need to dive into first. They're kind of precursor bits of information.
Great.
For those of you who are not familiar with Madden NFL, which actually was originally known as John Madden Football, it is a video game. So it's been on consoles since the beginning of time. The game was originally released on computers in 1988, but immediately jumped over to the console world. So it was on Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think you
3 or
can
4
get it.
1990.
Yeah, it's like several pixels or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just has more pixels every year.
Yeah, that's
No,
exactly
it
how it
genuinely,
works.
yes, it is. I think you can get it for also on computers still.
Today,
Probably.
Yeah,
well,
PC.
it's primarily on consoles
That
because
is
the
true.
majority, it seems like the game market, at least as far as I'm aware, and I might be wrong here, but there's a huge portion of the game market that is console based, and they seem to go for that. I know there's people who play computer games.
You
I'm
are
not
just
saying
going to
all of
piss
it.
off the PC master race here, man.
PC Master Race. I'm a Mac guy. They can't do anything to me.
I'm a former
Their silly
PCer.
Windows in Windows.
Yeah. No,
Windows is much better than it used to be.
There is, basically a console is just a computer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just very dedicated
just
to
is
one
dedicated.
OS.
And it's got a nifty little
There are a
controller.
ton of people
Yeah.
who do game on PCs as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny is that when I started doing the research for this, I was pretty sure that I had played John Madden Football when I was in junior high and high school when it first came out. But as I started looking at screen captures and stuff, I realized that no, what it was is that I was over at my buddy Joel's house with Rocky. We were playing Tecmo Bowl. So we were playing a completely different game.
Yeah, you were.
Well, now-
I think I played Madden 64 like once, and then my brother beat
64?
On the
crap.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah, on the Nintendo 64.
okay.
Sorry. And
Yeah, the naming conventions are going to get weird, and we'll deal
it's
with
fine. I know all of the game
I'm
naming
sure you
conventions,
do.
so no. But yeah, he beat me really, really badly the very first time I ever played it, and I was just like, Psh.
That's
it.
great.
I'm done with this. This is ridiculous.
Well,
It is bad.
I've never played the game. Is it a first-person game or what is it exactly?
Yes and no. It really depends on the version.
yeah.
Sometimes you're the quarterback and you see what the quarterback is. Sometimes you're a field camera
God's
above
eye
kind of
view
view.
kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
It's changed over time.
Yeah.
Really, as the technologies evolve, so it's hard for me to say exactly what the viewing perspective is.
okay.
That and I haven't played it
The
in a
one,
long time.
yeah, the one we played, it was like you basically picked you're like, all right, we're gonna do this this time. We're gonna do this play this
You picked your
time.
play.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the big thing about, so this is a weird thing, but that was what really helped put this particular game on the map, is there was all kinds of games out there that were football games, but they all had made-up teams because they didn't have endorsement, and John Madden Football would be the first one that would get the NFL, National Football League, endorsement. But the other thing that they had is, from the very beginning, though it had a clunky user interface, it apparently had this really amazingly deep playbook. Let's say Tecmo Bowl had 10 plays that you could run through a team. Madden was 30, 40, 50 deep, and I don't know the number I'm making up, but it was exponentially larger in the number of plays that were available than any other game
I
at
think
the time.
Madden was actually, from what I heard, really deeply involved in the creation of this game.
To a degree, yeah.
You know, when I first heard about it, I just assumed that they paid him some money
And got his name.
and they got his name and his picture to put on the game.
Of
and
course.
that's about it. You know.
Yeah,
It
that's
turns
what
out-
we would all think.
Turns out he was actually pretty involved in it, and
Yeah.
so he probably insisted on it being as cool and realistic and everything.
He did
as possible.
insist on realism, which is part of
Yeah.
the reason that the playbook was as it was, and there was a 2-year delay because they approached Madden in 86, I think it was, or 85 or 86 with the game idea. it didn't come out till 88. I always loved the story because they got a hold of him while he was traveling somewhere on an Amtrak train because apparently Madden was afraid to fly. So he would take the train everywhere. So they knew they had him as a captured audience for at least several hours on the train.
Interesting.
Which is really funny.
That's really smart. Yeah.
I wonder if he still does that, or if he listened to our episode about the Amtrak derailment.
I don't. I actually do not know about Madden's travels anymore. Madden's been out of the news for many years. He's now, John Madden's what, 81, 82? He's born in 1936, so he's going to be 82, 83, somewhere right in that range. So he's been around for a while.
Yes.
Speaking of Madden, though, the reason that John Madden, people know Madden, for those of you who don't know Madden, he was a football player. He was an offensive tackle when he was in college, and he was drafted into the NFL, but he would never actually play in the NFL because in training camp that first year, he suffered a knee injury that he couldn't overcome.
It's hard to come back from those.
Right. So then he turned around.
He got into coaching, right?
Yeah, he got into coaching. Turned around, he figured out he liked coaching. He started coaching college ball in 1960, and then he made the transition to professional football in 1967 when he started coaching the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And he would coach the Raiders for a total of 11 seasons from 1967, or no, I guess it was 10, because it was 1960. Oh no, yeah, it is. In 1967 to 1978 is when he was coaching there, and he was a pretty successful coach. During that time, he got them into the playoffs multiple times. They would eventually win the Super Bowl in 1977, although they did kind of earn the moniker of the team that couldn't.
Yeah.
They would get into the playoffs, they would get into the Super Bowl, but they couldn't actually win it.
They could never close the deal. Yeah,
it was like
a certain basketball team. What is their
the
name?
Buffalo Bills used to be that way back in the 90s. They made it into the Super Bowl. I think it was 3 or 4 times in a row when I was a kid, and every time that was when I stopped. I couldn't watch football anymore because I was so excited they had made it again, and then they would just fail again. And fail is a harsh way to say it, but they didn't win. Yeah, and that's really what counts in the Super Bowl.
Kind of is.
In life in general, kids.
Yeah, they don't have a cut down size Super Bowl ring.
They don't. Yeah. So we've covered some of this history here, but from there on out, of course, Madden, after he retired, he'd become a sports commentator, and he would be a commentator for about 30 years. And I'm pretty sure that's where everybody
pretty much
these days really knows Madden, is because he was always on Saturday and Sunday football talking about the teams. He's got that really iconic voice.
They either know him as a commentator or they know him because of the video games.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, as we said, in 86, I think I might have said it was 85, but in 86, he was approached about this game idea. And at the time, it was Electronics Arts is who approached him. They are now EA Tiburon and EA Sports.
Yeah, just...
It's EA. If you know games, you know EA. They're huge.
If you know games, you know EA, and you also know how I feel about EA. So I'm just not even going to say it.
Do you not like EA?
No.
I don't know how she feels about it, but I don't care. We're going to keep going because that's a warning sign right there. That's a do not enter. It's like the porcupine when they fluff up. It means don't touch me. Don't bring this up.
Don't do it. Just keep going.
You're going to keep moving on from the porcupine,
like the skunk that does the little dance.
Thanks, guys.
So moving on from the skunk. Okay, so like I said, first version of the game comes out in 1988, and then each time that it comes out, John Madden is featured on the cover of the game in some pose, or there's some photo of him with a football or looking like he's pointing at something. But whatever.
Sometimes just wearing a sexy little teddy, or maybe posing in front of a Christmas tree.
No, that one, not that one either. Nope. Those were all rejected ideas, which is why you didn't stay at Electronic Arts for very long. You kept coming up with these great ideas that
why not lingerie, guys?
But the game would begin to integrate players on the covers. The first time that it would happen were Madden NFL 95, and then from then on out, it seemed like there typically would be at least one player. Though in the beginning, that player wasn't the prominent person. It was still John Madden. There was a screened back or knocked back image of some player in a game in the background, and it was some high-performing player, but they weren't the main focus of the cover.
Right. At least at first.
Yeah. Now, I will, real quick here, just explain something about the way the nomenclature or the description of dates and names is done.
It's like car years.
It can be a bit confusing. I just want to break this down for folks, because football has the regular season, which is normally September-ish to December, and then the postseason, which is, of course, the finals, and then the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And, of course, the year that the regular season happened is typically what you'll see that season referred to in terms of the numbers. So 2017 just passed, and then we had the Super Bowl in 2018, but that's still considered the 2017 season.
Yeah.
Okay, but Madden NFL, the game, always uses the upcoming year's number. So in 2017, they released Madden NFL 2018. So it's kind of like car years. They jump ahead, so it can get
in an effort to stay relevant longer.
I guess. I don't know. It can get a little kooky or a little hard to follow if you don't think about that. So that's the reason I bring it up.
Yeah, no, I was the first when I looked into it. I was a little confused too. But
Yeah, I was too. I was like, well, that doesn't make. But it gets better. There are years that they change the numbers and it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah.
That's when it's even better.
Well, like Madden 64.
Yeah,
I just called it Madden 64.
Yeah.
That's Madden 25.
Yeah.
What the deuce?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
That was Madden 2006, and now after 2010, it changed to a two-digit number. You know. And
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not consistent. But let's okay. So that's the backstory. That's all you need to know there. Let's get down into the nitty-gritty bits of the curse itself.
Yeah.
As I said before, there were about 8 editions of the game with just Madden, and then after 95, they started showing players. But of course, in those first couple of years, those players seemed to not suffer any ill effects. It wasn't until Madden 99 that problems began to arise. That was the year that the PAL version of the game, the PAL, which that's it's the version of the game that is meant for Asia, Europe, and Australia, because they use a different encoding method on video than we do here, which is NTS something. I can't remember what the full acronym is. So they have to release different versions in different countries.
Okay.
So they released this one overseas, and this one in Madden 99, in the States, it's still John Madden, but over there, it's Garrison Hearst of the San Francisco 49ers. And then the next year, they would do the same thing. They would release a version of the game with Barry Sanders from the Detroit Lions for the 2000 version. And I'm not sure if that was the PAL version or if they did it all over that way. I think it was still PAL at that point. And then from that point forward, John Madden's no longer on the cover. It is all star players.
Right.
And right away, people would say that there was problems once it was just a player on the cover. And for example, the NFL 99 or Madden NFL 99 with Garrison Hearst, he's considered the first victim because that year he would twist his ankle in the playoffs and he would miss the following 2 seasons. And then from there on out and all that time forward, tons and tons of these guys have suffered ill effects.
Injuries and bad luck. And, you know, it's actually reached the point, and so many football fans believe in this, that like when the nominations for the upcoming cover are there, people will actually not vote for their favorite player.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that. Yeah. When the theory section,
So it's been like 19 years of disaster.
Basically.
Okay.
Not every player seems to have suffered the effects, but quite a frickin' few of them have.
Okay.
Has anybody sued?
No,
Why the hell not?
Nobody's sued, but a couple of people have really ducked out of the nomination, and we'll talk about that later on as well.
I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna run through about a dozen players here because this is the best way to illustrate the curse and its threat.
That's how badass Steve is. He
Yeah.
can just plow through a dozen NFL players.
Yeah, because oof. I mean, I played ball in high school, man. I'm big. Look at me. Yeah, no, that's not the way it works. Okay. So I'm just going to start with Madden NFL 2000. That was Barry Sanders of the Detroit Lions. The problem was Sanders retired just before the start of the 1999 season.
Yeah, he got some injuries, right?
Well, he had been injured, yes, and he decided he wasn't going to start the season, and of course they'd already released the game, so they were kind of in a bind there. So that was a negative thing for the Lions because they lost their star because Barry Sanders was a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, of course, now they turn and they've got the Powell